There is only one indigenous broadcaster championing the cause for the restoration of Biafra. Biafra Human Rights Radio. Of course, unstoppable and remains the beacon of truth. It's been so since yesterday. There is only one indigenous broadcaster championing the cause for the restoration of Biafra. Biafra Human Rights Radio. Of course, unstoppable and remains the beacon of truth. It has been so since yesterday, and it is today and forever. There is only
Land of the rising sun, we love and cherish, beloved homeland of our brave heroes. We must defend our lives, or we shall perish. We shall protect our hearts from all our foes. But if the prize is death for all we hold dear, then let us die without a shred of fear. Hell to Biafra, consecrated nation, oh fatherland, peace be our solemn pledge. Defending till shall be our dedication. Spilling our blood will count our privilege. The waving standard which emboldened day free shall always be our flag of liberty. We shall emerge triumphant from this ordeal, and through the crucible unscared will pass. When we are poised, the wind of battle to heal. Biafra.
So once again, fellow Biafrans, lovers of freedom, men and women of goodwill, conscientious people all over the world, I say good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and to some of you, good night, depending on your time zone. This is Radio Biafra Extra, and we are streaming live through Biafra Human Right and Freedom Radio Station. Biafra Human Right and Freedom Radio Station is anchored by Diokpa Uche Okafomefo, who hails from Abatete in Anambra State, Biafra land. He is the man who has assured us that he will not allow the heart of this project to see corruption. This is something I've been saying for as long as you can remember me on any broadcast platform, because you really do not understand the mindset behind those words. You never knew what was actually going on. But now, gradually you are having an iceberg of the real deal. And of course, on this platform, it is the embodiment of pro-Biafran group, the de facto customary government, which is made up of different groups under the agitation of Biafra. And of course, with different ideology. Some of them believe in constitutional review, and then somewhat constitutional amendment, and then others say they want devolution of power, regional autonomy. Some are calling for referendum, and then others say no, we don't want the name Biafra. In fact, on daily basis they are increasing, and I will encourage every one of them to line up, follow the queue, join the de facto customary government, because this is the real deal. I want to specially acknowledge every member of the de facto customary government, from the executive, which is the implementation committee, to the advisory body, which is the parliamentary. Those of you who are doing great job there, Mazikena Wanoneni, Uchena Sibu, of course, Ugono, Mazungu Kinkwo, our chairman Alhaji Asare Dokubo, of course the deputy person Rita Nebogo, and many others too numerous to mention, and my apology if you are not mentioned at this moment. And I go on to the Biafra Nation Alliance. I acknowledge every member of the Biafra Nation specifically, uniquely, because you should have run, you should have gone and hide, because you dare not challenge supremacy. You dare not challenge the God of Ipong. You should have run away, but you stood your ground. You understand the consequence of standing alone, yet you made that choice. I acknowledge all of you. Mazu bid you be no. Your words may be few in most cases, but they really touch deep within our heart. We acknowledge you, Dr. Okado. We acknowledge you, members of the administrators across the globe. We acknowledge you, media department, Mbadike. We acknowledge all of you. Agongwanyada Biafra. We acknowledge all of you. You are doing miracle. You are doing miracle. Honestly. And I must move on to acknowledge all the Biafrans who are in a confused state at this moment. But you have a pure heart. The truth touches your heart each time. And honestly, you're not ready to compromise. But you're taking your time. I understand your position. Those of you whose faith and hope have been crumbled, we understand how you feel. But I tell you, no matter how disappointed we may be, no matter how confused we may be, no matter how frustration, situation, and circumstance will turn against us, let the world turn its back on us, and we will turn our back on the world. But in the end, let the truth prevail. We understand your challenges. Those of you who are not even Biafra, but you identify with us in this struggle, honestly, Biafrans appreciate you. You are highly appreciated. And I move on directly, as customary demand, to acknowledge indigenous people of Nnamdi Kanu, the IPONG. They are everywhere on social media. If you don't worship Nnamdi Kanu as a god, they call you saboteur, they call you jobless man, lazy man, criminal, womanizer, drunkard. They call you name. 419, they call you name. It is blackmail that fuels them. It is character assassination that motivates them. And now, everything that gives them power is gradually losing its efficiency. You see? And I'm sure there are very few of them on the line here. They are the one that call their member. Don't listen to them, unfriend them, delete them, as if anybody want to make friends with cannibals. But we thank God for this position where we find ourselves. I wonder what a horrible Biafran we would have said before the people. Where you are supposed to put your energy concentrating on your own freedom, prisoner of conscience. You are running haywire, helter-skelter. You are jumping up and down, causing confusion everywhere. I acknowledge you. Please insult me, because that is the motivating ingredient that enables me to go on every day. That is why when I stay at times, no iPunk is talking to me. I just throw the call for them, and all of a sudden you see some bees jumping out from every corner. You are a criminal. You are a this one. You are a that one. You are a that one. Having acknowledged them, I must acknowledge the Creator, the one who knows the end even before they begin, the one that we worship. the one that is faithful. He changed everything and he never changed. Chukwu nedema, Jehovah nedema, Ulilanya ndi Biafra nedema, Omaka sibi wale nedema, Ezi Chineke leo, Nari keleo, Bweni neo, Imana wasena nini memau, Chimu wasena nina gworia o, Izimu wasena nini nyike o, Uwe biaro buru ezioku. O asena nini mema o, Dadi asena nini nyike o, Onye nwe mu asena nini mema, Eze anyị we biara buru ezioku. Chukwu dị mma, dị mma, agbanwe Chimo dị mma, akpata na-ekwu nwale dị mma, Chimo onye nwe anyị dị mma o. Ịmakwa na oge anyị lele anya n'eluigwe dadi o, ebe ahụ na-achị achị o, anyị wefu Chukwu dị mma, eze anyị onye nwe anyị dị mma o. Ya ha ndị jaja gị mma o, maka n'eziokwu ịmara mma ịhụnanya na gị, obiọma gị o juru anya dadi o, inwe gị mgbanwe o, ọ dịghị onye dịka gị, ebu Alfa na Omega dadi, anyị niile na-asị na dị mma o. Ise. And of course, all protocol duly observed, we go to our topic this evening, which is simply titled Some Qualities Behind the Formation of a Nation. We've started another year. There are a lot of jamborees going on. There are a lot of first line of action initiated to give us Biafra. Of course, this is 2022. We're going to put on a lot of home videos, Bollywood, Nollywood, Hollywood, all the whole wood, Yahoo wood. We are going to put it on. And then, today is just the 4th of January, the year 2022. And before you know it, we are in 2023. And this is exactly what they want. There is no serious project going on. But thank God for the timely intervention of the Biafra Nation Alliance, of course in collaboration with the de facto customary government of Biafra. Another year has started. And everybody is trying to tell you, this year we are going to give you Biafra. You don't give us Biafra, we are going to fast and pray. If you don't give us Biafra, we are going to use razor to cut ourselves like the prophet of Baal. We will use hammer to knock ourselves. If you like, cry from here, cry blood. Jehovah will not answer you because you are not one of his and he does not know you. Elohim will not answer you. But there are things we ought to do. God will not do for man what man should do for themselves. And so when it comes to the mindset behind setting up nation, restoring a nation, there are qualities that need to be imbibed. There are qualities that need to be initiated, introduced, inculcated, adopt. Which grammar I want to speak? The people must be properly indoctrinated. There is need for special induction. But of course, this may be knowledge too hard for most of you to understand. Our mothers and fathers, those in the village, don't worry, we are coming. It is a gradual process. We will make sure you understand everything we are saying. But for the meantime, we are trying to send a signal which will work as a ripple effect to the next generation so they understand who we are, what we have done, and the process we have gone through. The generation of 1967 and 1970 never left any stone unturned. They have their record straight on. The creation of a nation requires some formation. for establishment. For instance, establishment of a family or organization, as the case may be. To restore a nation, it requires some formation, some qualities. It is almost, it could be referred or compared to the establishment of family or organization, as the case may be. It is very fascinating, very touching, very emotional to understand that we are not the only people who have been here. We are not the only people who have been here. Outside being the first country in Africa to initiate the right to self-determination, I think we are almost enjoying from the look of things. But of course, we cannot relax. We continue to push on. When you want to give birth, when you want to form a family, it requires certain qualities to be initiated. When you want to set up organization, there are things you need to do. Stage by stage. Stage by stage. And that is what we are going to look at this very study this evening. But before then, I will move on to play an audio, and hopefully my system will enable me to be able to present this audio. It is coming from one of our own, and these are people who understand that if you want to set up a family, there are principles you need to introduce and make part of you. If you want to set up, deliver a nation, rescue a nation, restore a nation, there are certain qualities that you must adhere to, abide to. When I listened to this woman in her statement, I saw a whole lot of revelation. I saw genuinity, genuine individuals. I saw people who did their homework. I saw people whose mind have been prepared. You don't just wake up one day and say you are going to marry. The same way you jump in, you are going to jump out. You don't wake up and say you want to be an NGO, you want to be a captain of industry. You don't just wake up and jump into anything that has value. You will jump out the same way. There are qualities, there are attributes that need to be emulated, inculcated into the system. And when you are properly informed about such quality, you see, you cannot be moved by situation or circumstance. You cannot be moved by anybody. Though you may encounter ups and downs, but yet you remain unmovable. Let us try to see if we can be able to get this audio.
Good afternoon, everyone. My fathers, I greet you all. My brothers and sisters. First of all, I want to follow the path of Joy, I think, where she introduced herself. I want to say that I am of mixed parentage. My mother is British. My father is an Ijaw man from the Niger Delta, which is in Nigeria, in that order. Therefore, I align myself with my father. I am honored enough to be able to say that I remember pre-independence. I also remember the Biafran War, and I also very much remember the Niger Delta agitation, and we're now in the Boko Haram agitation. I want to stand on the first national anthem, which is really where my heart is. And there is one particular line that I hold on to, and it says, though tongues and tribes may differ, in brotherhood we stand. That is the Nigeria that I know. That is the Nigeria that I continue to belong to. That is the Nigeria that I respect. That is the Nigeria that I hope will stay together. But I'm also not going to misinform anyone. I will not and do not intend to sacrifice who I am, which is an Ijaw person, and my region, which is Niger Delta, for the sake of Nigeria. because nobody else is prepared to sacrifice their region for my people. We
now understand. She is not an IPOB member. She is not agitating for Biafra. She will love Nigeria and want Nigeria to remain. She is a Biafran. She is anti-brick. She is very much interested and fighting even as a woman for the liberation of her people. And I can say without saying a word, she has supported the struggle and given courage to many people who stand on the way to ensure total liberation of our people. And as a full-blooded Nigeria, when she addressed a group of Nigerians in the presence of Hausa, Fulani, Yoruba, and every other person from the Nigerian state, she addressed them. And believe me, my respect for her is beginning to grow. She didn't address as somebody who has collected money, beating around the bush in order to dodge the truth from the people. But for how long will anybody do that? She made you understand about the Nigerian national anthem, Nigeria we hail thee. He said, though tongues in one of the stanzas, though tongues and languages may differ, but yet we remain one Nigeria. But he said, I want it to be clear to all of you, I will not sacrifice Niger Delta for Nigeria. I will not sacrifice Niger Delta for Nigeria. She is not yet fighting for Biafra restoration. No. She speaks like a man. When a man talks, you know a man is talking. When a criminal is talking, if you have a discerning spirit, you will understand. And when somebody that is not serious is talking, you will also be able to perceive that. I need you to sample this very short statement coming from this woman. It is going to form a base for our discussion this evening, and it is going to help you tomorrow. You leaders of thought, you intellectual dishonest individual, you progressive minded people, you who are out there as a leader, parading yourself in the pavilion of power, all of dominating everybody because you have access to the corridor of power, and yet to tell us truth that never existed. It's as simple as ABCD. We are in Nigeria. And Nigeria acknowledge that we are people with different tongues, with different language. And then as much as she wants Nigeria to remain one, developed, progressive, and the rest of the any grammar that associate with advancement. He said, but I will never. It is not because she's saying it. It is in her character. Whatever I have seen her say or do, across every platform, her love for Niger Delta is unbelievable. Let us continue.
All together must form and rebuild a Nigeria that is equal, irrespective of number of where you come from. I do not want to deceive myself, and I will not be deceived, to think that because I am a Nigerian, that therefore I will deny my ethnicity. We are different people that make up this country, and we should be proud of that difference, and we should enhance that difference and not use that difference to manipulate others. Alabo here has said what happened during the Niger Delta crisis. I want to be on record to say, and I have said it before, that what Nigeria is calling today peace in the Niger Delta is a peace that belongs to fool. I am not part of that. Because if nothing changes, we will go back and find ourselves in the same position where the output of oil was reduced to 700,000 barrels. The late Yaradua did not resolve or attempt to resolve the Niger Delta crisis because of his love for Niger Delta people. He resolved it because Nigeria needs the oil that is coming from the Niger Delta.
You see the truth. He said, let history not repeat itself. If you are calling for peace, there are things you need to do for peace to be there. But when that is not done, nobody is deceiving anybody here. We will go back to the drawing board again. He reminded all of them, men of Katabila and Buddhism supposedly, that see, Yaradua did not attend to the issue of Niger Delta because he loved them. They know this truth. But because the oil that they are siphoning, stealing, robbing, looting, how do they even carry oil? All of them, the number has greatly reduced. And they have to do something. Listen very carefully. To do that, they did not kill anybody. They were not killing, let's kill Mbiama people, let's kill Otueke people, let's kill Kalabare, let's kill Ikwere, let us kill ourselves. No. The first rule of engagement, to protect your own. And that is why you see people who are out there jumping up and down. We want to save you. She mentioned every form of emasculation, every form of deliberate emasculation. Weapons that is targeted against us as a people. She mentioned all of them. Like somebody rightly said, you are chasing a rat and it ran into the house, and then you burn down the house just to kill the rat. You destroy your property and the rat dies in the end. And where does that leave you? He said, we go back to the drawing board. The people of Niger Delta must be protected. We know what to do. On our own, what are we doing? You come on Facebook, you start eating human being meat so that we run for you, or so that we start clapping for you. You lie more than the devil. Where has your lie taken you to? Your known government, you kill only your people. And you think Nigeria will respect you? They will help you, support you very well. And all we are trying to do is to make you reason properly. We are different people. Nigeria know this. We are different people. Let us stop pretending. We are different people who find ourselves in this evil enclave called Nigeria. We are different people. Even though we need to manage to remain one people, we need to make sure that there is fairness, equity, justice, transparency, and those in the corridor of power must be ready to redeem accountability when they are called upon. We must go with that mindset, understanding that what is good for the goose is good for the ganja. You don't rob Peter to pay Paul. She made it clear. She's not agitating for Niger Delta Republic. It's not agitating. Who would open a door for their people to embrace them more than the person who understands the need? Why you do not just speak words in season, but you open a platform to embrace all. Let us continue.
Must put together a Nigeria that brings together all the resources that belongs to all Nigerians from all the 36 states. I am highly offended, my elders, when I hear people say our oil. How is the devastation not our devastation? How is the pollution of our land not our pollution? How is the killing of my people not our killing? And we're told that it is one Nigeria. We
understand. She's meticulously present a history of 100 years in less than 20 minutes. There are a lot of criminals out there telling you, Oyel in Jigawa belong to Magudugri, Oyel in Madugri belong to where, Oyel in Niger Delta belong to the Kwangwaraso, Oyel here. But why is the pollution in Niger Delta? Why is it not belonging to you people? The pollution, go to Ogoni. You think they are happy, but they won't say anything. And that is as a result of our collective weakness. In most areas, you drill water from your borehole. You can't drink it. Soil pollution, air pollution, environment, every form of pollution. She made it clear. Why is the dilapidated road in Niger Delta not our dilapidated road? They keep pointing us our disadvantage, our inability. They keep trying to make us look faulty. Anybody who is speaking for the people must be upright. If this woman has collected money, her word will not be firm like this. There are Fulani Janjaweed there, according to Nnamdi Kanu. There are people from all walks of life, including FFK, our in-law. All of them are there. They're clapping for her. I know they may go back and say, how do we shut this girl down? What do we do like this? How do we do like that? There are many lioness out there who will stand up within the Nigerian state and tell them this truth to their face. But when they have issue, who will stand for them? Is it Nnamdi Kanu that is rubbishing our single mothers in America now? Is he the one that will come for them? He won't come for them and will not allow another people to defend them. Simeon Ekpa is doing a good work representing our single mothers in America. Chike Doziam and the rest, they will not let him do his job. Rubbish people. That is why when you talk, people look at you. When you are talking, people listen to you. Their spirit tells them. This is a Nigerian woman who telling Nigerians truth to themselves. We are here, and now we are going to do a national anthem. Let us sing national anthem. Today, let us do fasting and praying. Tomorrow, let us do Orobosi Saraba, Araba Saint Araba, Ndiara. Tomorrow we are Jews. Next one we are Hebrew. The next time we are Idu. Another one we are Godomigodo. The next one we are Lower Niger, Upper Niger, River Niger, Bottom Niger, on top of Niger. Asa everywhere Niger. Kirone. Sometimes we need to be ashamed of ourselves. This woman, there is a secret behind the audacity, behind the grace to speak in that manner. And those are some of the things we are going to review this evening. Let us continue.
Want it to be one Nigeria. I want it to be one Nigeria. My father, as I said, is a Nigerian. But I will not sacrifice my people for the sake of Nigeria. There is resources in every single state that is in this country. And therefore, it is about time that we sit down and bring everything to the table. I am highly offended by the comment of Sanusi that people are killing their fellow human beings because of derivation. If we're sharing derivation, what is it that this Sanusi, what is in his state? What is he bringing to Nigeria? 9 states, including Lagos, because it is the commercial heart of Nigeria, is contributing to the wealth and distribution of wealth of this Nigeria. I therefore say again that 27 states in this country and their governors are lazy. They should look for what to do, how to develop their state, how to invest in their state.
No, it's only Oye. They want Oye. One Nigeria. Once you hear one Nigeria, somebody want to steal Oye. Nothing more, nothing less. Now, having listened to this very audio coming from Ankyo Briggs, of course, our lovely sister, she said it point and direct. No compromising. Now, something gave her that impetus to make such comment, and that is the true knowledge of formation of a nation. Like I was saying earlier, if you want to get married, you don't jump into it. If you want to set up an industry, you don't jump into it. There are processes. The first among the list is that it all starts with a dream. A dream. You wake up, you begin to dream. It doesn't matter how old you are. I can remember as young as 17 years, I don't think I have had carnal knowledge of a woman at the age of 17. I'm not sure. But even at the age of 17, I had a picture of a home I needed, a picture of a home I want. Some of these attributes came as a result of my father teaching me about marriage, even as young as I am. There are certain things he he tells me. And I can tell you they've served as a guiding principle to me, having been married for over 18 years. And I'm telling you, irrespective of the challenges, everything is going on well. Why? Because there are things you need to do. I first of all dreamed about it, and when I dreamed about it, I need to fashion a way out of this. When Joseph had a dream of greatness, he understand to get to that height, considering his family position and his position in the family, he required miracle to get there. And then when he had opportunity to mess up with his destiny, he said to Potiphar's wife, how can I commit such great thing against my master and then offend the creator? And now it's not about his master alone, it is also about offending God. He rather rot in jail than to compromise. Let me come down a little bit for your proper understanding. I remember something my father told me. He said, my son, when you grow up and you get married, and your wife is this type of woman that if you tell her you did wrong, she will start crying. You say you can't do this way, she start crying. Every attempt to correct her in anything you know she's wrong, instead of her to respond, or she may be right, she start crying. You say, my son, pack your load and run out of that house. You will die premature death. He said that tears kills men. Many of our husbands died premature death. Don't worry, we will go back to our roots so that you understand this thing. Gone too soon. Died at the age of 27. Gone too soon. He married and have one child and died. Most of you are the one killing your husband ignorantly. Let me not digress. He said that tears a woman share for the husband, he said it kills man. Run. That woman will kill you. He said, let me tell you, but when you marry and you tell your wife, shut up, wrongly, and your wife say, why will you ask me to shut up? But I'm saying the truth. He said, don't see it as she's rude. That is the real woman. That is the real human being. That is how it should be. You can beat her up, do anything, she can be submissive, but she can never give in or succumb when you are wrong. And she may do it politely or otherwise. He said, my son, have it at the back of your mind. That is the real human being. And it did affect me so many times. She gave me many stories. Let me say one again, for the sake of those who are listening. And if you want to have sense, have sense. And this was when I got married eventually. And in my wedding, the gift was simple. We went out and he said to me, let me tell you, if I embarrass you, don't see it that way. You must see women as a goat. I know your mother is a woman, and my mother is a woman too, and you're getting married to a woman, and so you cannot take this to heart that I'm insulting them. He said you must view them as a goat. And now why did I say that? A father sent the son to take one of their goat and go to the market and sell the goat. He said with the boy being very energetic, very strong, took the goat, placed a rope on the neck and dragged it to the market. On the way to the market, the goat began to prove stubborn and refused to walk. This boy was so eager to take this goat to the market. He entered the nearby bush and picked up a cane. He flogged this goat very well, hit the goat and compelled it to move. But the goat refused to move. And eventually he killed the goat. He said the boy then picked up the goat, placed it on the neck, and then cried and went back home. And when he got home, he saw the father from afar. And the father said, why are you crying? He said, it's the goat. What happened to the goat? He narrated to the father. And the father said, so when the goat eventually died, how did you bring the goat home? He said, I threw the goat on my neck. The father said, you see, you may be very strong, energetic, very eager to go and sell this market and deliver the assignment I give to you, but you've not been very wise. At that moment where the goat refused to walk, what you should have done in the first place is what you did last. You would have picked up the goat, put it on your neck, and carry it to the market. By now you would have sold the goat and returned with the money very happily. And he said to me, my son, you will get to a stage in this marriage. Your wife will behave like that goat. Kill her, flog her, do anything you like. She will never obey you. And if you want to act, you are a man, you pay the bill, you pay the rent, you are the champion, you will kill her. And that thing you are trying to avoid, you will do it later. He said, when you get to that stage in your marriage, because it will come, remember, she's your goat. Please, put her on the neck. Carry her to the market. You see, all will be fine. And this word comes just like advice. But the pop-up, each time I find myself in such situation. Of course, this is not a marriage class, so we'll talk it some other time. But then, first of all, you need to dream how marriage is going to be. I had a dream how marriage is going to be. Many things were planned out. We talk about, I knew how many children I was going to have. It was not specific. Some of these children, even when you don't want them, they are coming. And then if the Lord give, why can we reject them? And so I know the number of children I intentionally want to have. They are on record, but it's not a law. I've tried to compare the future of my family and the immediate. I have dreamed it length and breadth. This should be applicable to the Biafra Restoration Project. It is the dream of a nation where we will not be called a Nyamere. This is the dream of a nation where we will not have resources, mineral and natural resources, and then we live in poverty. We're dreaming of a nation where we will not be considered as a second class. We're dreaming of a nation where the government dreams of not just how to exploit us, how to make us, but how to make us and experience a comfortable life. We visage, these are the things we are going to see in Biafra nation. In the Biafra nation, there will be no sickness, because the health facilities should be up and running. In Biafra nation, no form of injustice, because we will have access to competent court jurisdiction. In Biafra nation, there will be no looting of resources, because every competent member nation that makes up the Biafra nation will have to control their resources. In Biafra nation, the law will be made just to prevent us from being savages. We dream of a nation where God himself is our king and no man, where there will be freedom of religion among other things. And that is what brought us out. And so if you want Biafra to come, you dream of it. So which dream of Biafra do you want? Are you dreaming now? The one you have not even been able to capture or convince a community in Biafra land to follow you holistically, completely, wholeheartedly. And yet you are telling how many people you are going to kill. When Biafra come, we will kill all our governor. When Biafra come, we will kill Judge ONYIBE. When Biafra come, all of you in diaspora who did not support, you will not come. Nanya will even be telling you, hold your receipt, oh, you will not enter Biafra land, oh, hold your receipt well, oh. That is your dream already. That is your dream. And how many people will fund that dream? How many people will support that dream? And you can see some of the reason why it looks as if we are failing. But we will learn. You consider its future. whether in terms of positive or negativity, you consider them, you dream them. I have a plan B, trying to compare them with marriage. I have plan B, A to B, and so nothing shocks me. It is like getting involved in Biafra agitation. I have my plan B to Z. And that is why when I come across some people, they are planning how to run you down. They are planning how to set you up. I just be looking at them. We are thinkers. So we were there before you got there. Number 2. The ingredients of such dream to materialize must be articulated, properly analyzed. You must program yourself and let it be presented to the component member. For instance, you look at in terms of establishing a company or that of a family. All the issues involved, you must review them. First of all, what kind of a person do you want to marry? I'm using marriage now, for instance. What kind of a person do you want to marry? It is very pathetic. Most people don't even know the kind of person they want. And tomorrow you begin to call the devil. Devil is in my home. Devil is in my home. I can't tolerate women that talks too much. It makes me sick. I'm not telling you they are bad people, but I can't tolerate them. I love them. I have them as friends. And so I know the woman I must marry must not be a talking type. But maybe I'm a talkative. But yet I don't want a talkative like me. Because two captains cannot be in a ship. And so these were the quality among others that I watched out. And if we say we want to divide from Nigeria, we must watch out for the quality of the really nation we are looking for. And when we begin to walk towards it and we see that these qualities are not there, my brother, a call for conscience. We are on a crossroad now where we have to caution ourselves. My brother Odowele, we say Biafra on a crossroad. You need to consider what is your overall consideration. What is your consideration in terms of relationship between the immediate and extended family? You need to consider them. How will they affect your family? If I marry from this family, how will I relate to them? Most people don't put all these things into consideration, but the success of your marriage are tied to some of these principles. The same way, the success of any nation, progressing nation, is tied to some of these principles. How do I relate to neighboring country? How do I relate to members of the same nation with me? You have heard Anchor Brick say it loud and clear. We are not the same people. We are not the same people. If we are not the same people and we are in the same country, somebody would have dreamed before now. Nnamdi Azikiwe would have dreamed before now. Obafemi Awolowo would have dreamed before now. Tafawa Balewa would have dreamed before now. How are we going to coexist? Manage ourselves knowing fully well that we are like oil and water. They never dreamt of it. Now let's go back to marriage a little bit. It's my rule. I don't discuss my family matter with my in-laws or my family. It's a law. We have issue. We go and meet mama in-law or papa in-law or my father to settle my marriage issue. What if they are not there? I want to first of all believe that if I have to father a child, and my wife is up to that capacity, we should be ready to solve our problem. And so we don't discuss our problem. We don't. Now when it comes to relationship, we may have issue at home. We don't tell anybody. When they enter enter, we pretend as if nothing is wrong, all is well, and when they go out, we continue from where we stop. But for me to go and tell my mother, hey, well, my wife is a bad woman, or mother-in-law, warn your daughter, or I send her home, or no. This is my cross. I will carry it to the end. And what do? I pray for her to be the woman of my dream. Listen, the one of my dream. These are things you need to review. How do you relate with all those people? How do you do that? You are in a nation where you have external and internal friends and enemy alike. You need to think about how you should be able to navigate in the affairs of life as concerns all of you. Let me tell you once again. If there is war, Nigeria will be completely obliterated. What will happen in Nigeria? It is going to be a horrible explanation for anybody to do. They can only whisper it because the hatred within the system. It is not open hatred. It is not open hatred. That is why it's so bad. Pretentious hatred. People pretending they love you. But of course, many people don't want war. The North should know if the war comes out today, the shock that is coming, forget about all this European and everything. It will shock all of you. Because people are looking for Allah inside one Nigeria, how to kill themselves in terms of eventuality. Did you consider that? They never dreamt of it. They thought the people will be Mugu. You deceive them, you rubbish them. Military take over power now. You see, things are changing already. You hardly hear the case of coup d'etat. And I tell you, if a military man was in power in this present day Nigeria, nobody will be in the Nigerian force again. Look at the level of exposure. Look at the level of AK-47 on the street. Look at the level of the main nuclear weapon. That is Android phone in the palm of a man. Look at what people can do now. And you say you are a military coming to rule Nigeria. My guy, you will be the only general in that barrack. Because all of you will be terrified. But because of that notion of democracy, everybody is trying to maintain. You need to consider all these things. And then those of you who are oppressing Biafrans because you think you are having upper hand. Do you think it will continue to be like this? Kingdom rise and kingdom fall. We just want our misguided brothers to get their sense back. The man in charge of Nnamdi Kanu matter, did you not hear what he said? In response to the request made by Mbazurike Amici and some Igbo elders, he said he's going to weigh their request with the interest of 20 million Nigerians. You know what that means? But anyway, let me not digress further. And so if you say you want to build a nation, you want to restore a nation, my brother, there are a lot of things that need to be considered. That is why when we are saying what we are saying, it is not the hatred that we have for anybody that drives us, but it's about the consequences of our action and decisions on this very day. This decision has played and can influence. It has played great role. It can influence many other areas of our life. As far as setting up a family is concerned. And so, if the formation of creating a nation is not properly reviewed, such decision must be considered, there will be problem. And so we should constantly ask ourselves, what kind of a nation are we dreaming to establish? Who are the targeted member, component member of this nation? What are the rules and regulations that will regulate the activity of every component member as far as this nation is concerned? In conclusion, therefore, I will cite example from the Indians' encounter. The Indians got their independence in 1947. And in that 1947, the India was divided into two independent dominions, which is Indian Dominion India and then Pakistan India. The Dominion India is today the Republic of India. And then the other India is the Republic of Pakistan, which is Islamic State Republic of Pakistan, and of course the People's Republic of Bangladesh. Indians found themselves the same way we have found ourselves. After 200 years or over 200 years of British rule in India, finally in 1947, Britain decided to give them independence. India without proper investigating, India without proper review, India without proper dreaming of the country that they want to. And I thank God they are all doing well. They moved log ahead into independence. When Britain took over India, India was one united continent, one united country. They were nothing like Pakistan. They were nothing like Bangladesh. These people never knew they were different between them, but here they were different within them. The ancient people were able to set up a family that grew into such mighty nation. You have different India, Jewish India, Arabic India, different India. They coexisted. But when Britain want to give them independence, the same way they did in Nigeria, they set a pendulum of chaos in motion. The more you try to control it, the more it dangles and destroys more. They created the Dominion India and then the Islamic India. After dividing India into two nations, it was okay. It did not separate India. It didn't make India to see themselves as different people. Remember, they all coexisted. And then they said they want to set up government. The British at that moment organized an election. And this election, you must win by merit of religion. The Muslims has the highest population, but they are not the Dominions. The Dominions are ruled by prince or blue-blooded individuals. And so when they want to do election, when Britain want to do election for them, they say, if you are Muslim, go this way. They now count their number. If you are Christian, move the other way. If you are Hindus and Voodoo and all of them, for the first time, Indians begin to see themselves as different people. And so immediately the British left. Do not forget that the same indirect rule and direct rule was initiated. Just the same thing like Nigeria. Those Islamic Indians, the Pakistans, the Bangladesh, British rule them directly, because they will call them in English the commoners. They can control them, they can manipulate them without much resistance. But the princes or the dominion state of India, they can't influence them, so they indirectly rule them. They make them pay some huge amount of money, return to Britain, but they were not controlling everything that goes on there. And in this process, they were able to weaken the system. And so the moment the British step back, India fall into heavy chaos, war that millions died, and then India was divided. Pakistan left. This is because they did not have proper dream of the nation they're looking forward to. While we are here shouting, give us Biafra, give us Biafra, the same pendulum of chaos has been put in place already. And if you hide from it, if you avoid it, get ready. The moment they say Biafra, go, then you will begin to see how many nations that, in fact, you have not even been able to imagine the number of ethnic nationality that makes up Biafra that will kill themselves. I listened to wounded general, wounded civilian. The people who just want to talk, but gradually they review their mind. That is why I love talking. When I listen to you, I see the intent of your heart. He was saying, Igbo, be doing Biafra. Just be doing Biafra. Don't worry, when you come out, you want to fight war. Igbo, we will flog you. All of us will gather and flog you. To some of you, you are happy because he's cursing Judge ONYIBE. But indirectly, he's telling you something. The pendulum of chaos is being initiated even behind you. Indians have enlightened people, but they tore themselves apart because they were ignorant of the devices of the colonial master, the imperialist. I do not mean to offend anybody. Igodo nation, Idu nation, Biafra nation. All these are pendulum of chaos being initiated, being installed without our knowledge. The real problem has not started. And if we do not start fighting it now, it may be too late for us because it will take us unaware. Do you know how many noble men, good men died before Bangladesh was able to secede out of India? Pakistan rather? The same thing is still happening. Without proper dream, get ready. Without proper re-evaluation of our position, get ready. Of course, India is doing well today. Pakistan is doing well. But all this is because when division came, they all dreamt of a better nation. No wonder the Bible say, or Moses said in the Bible say he forsook the wealth of Egypt, but looking for a city where the builder and the maker of is God. And so he had a dream of a nation already. A nation where the foundation is laid by God. A nation where the builder is God. A nation where he can be proud to call his own. A nation where God will be his God. And now you understand. Let all these ingredients, let all these attributes be what will all of us must continue to nurture, so that we can be able to go home peacefully without any further bloodshed. And of course, at this moment, our lines are open. Our lines are open, and you are free to call in if you have the number. Just a minute. Of course, those of you who cannot access my social media platform, you are free to call in through my private media platform. Just a minute. We have a direct line as a direct line is 080 rather 081-221-52971. 081-221-52971 is our direct line. I repeat again, 081-221-52971 is our direct line. And then the WhatsApp line is 070-815-45642. 070-815-45642. Do not forget, we are on FM relay station 100.5. You can get us around Anambra State, some part of Anambra, Mpo, Obaru territory and its environ. And of course, in River State, you can get us in Ubiakpo and Ikuli local government, of course, some part. Rumomo, Rumorosi, Rumodomaya, Rumubo, Biwale, some areas in Eneka, Rukboku, and of course, Igirita. In Delta State, you can get us from the head bridge to Obaosa and down to Nzene Junction. And so you're free to tune in and follow up with the updates. Our duty is to make sure that nobody is allowed to sell the next generation of Biafra. This is our job. This is what we are here to do, as other policies are being formulated to ensure that Biafra is not sold out, that the next generation is not sold out. I have a caller on the line, but if you can hear me, caller on the line. Caller on the line, can you hear me?
The voice of I'm calling you right now from Manisha. I'm really happy with the education you are giving and the education you are giving to our people, because it's very important that this kind of education should be ongoing so that our people can be open. Because I have been objecting to the system and the kind I have been using so long doing this for going about the plan issue. That's not the way it should do it. And what you people are doing now is the best thing. How can you tell people to shut up Monday every Monday? Don't go to school, this and that, you became policeman. That's policeman, okay? I don't know their funds, but I tend to forget. Then when you get their fund training, they are going to clear our governor, clear all our permanent men, clear this person, clear this person. What kind of leadership is that? Anybody are trying to object to their opinion, then we kill, so that person must die, then we kill the person. That's how we should be going about it. So I'm happy that God has bring people like you out, you and you, my fan, cool. I pray that Almighty God will bless you, give you the strength and the wisdom and knowledge and the power, and everything that is needed to unite the Biafran nation. Thank you very much.
Thank you, my brother. The truth cannot be overemphasized. There are a lot of things that can enhance the Biafra restoration project and then enable us to go home very speedily. But of course, we have a lot of career freedom fighter, and so as far as they are concerned, they are not looking for Biafra. As far as they are concerned, let the donation continue to flow. There are so much that we have to do. My father said, you don't need to complain to some people. Instead, kill them with your success. You can imagine in those days when everybody was on the same platform, when it was truly on Urubenwane Abaloso, Nigeria was so confused and devastated because they can't penetrate from any angle. But what a shame today. If you say Nigeria pay you, Nigeria pay you, Nigeria pay you, Nigeria pay you, no, he. You think we don't know the truth? We know. You think we were not aware? We are aware. The amazing thing is we cannot be witness. We cannot have the story of other people who have gone before us how they were able to survive. And then we make the same mistake. Something is not right. And so the people of Biafra must stand up. They must wake up. The journey has just begun. Believe me, there is a lot of work to be done. So much work to be done. And sometimes it looks like, where exactly do we start from? But it really doesn't matter, because anywhere we choose to start from, we should consider that as a very good starting point. And then make effective use of those avenues. People do not understand. A lot of things are going wrong. How many of our people are able to discern what is going on? India was one united, of course, different people. But they never noticed they were different until they fought for independence. And I do not think Hausa man was quarreling Yoruba man, and then Yoruba man was quarreling Igbo before they pushed for independence. All these things started when we say we want independence. And then you think when you say you want Biafra, they will now do tea and akamo and give to you. Of course, our lines are open and you're free to call in to make your contribution. But if not that, those who are being saved are hearing our gospel and they are being delivered gradually. But those who are on their way to perdition and destruction, the Satan is doing the job in their life. I'm joined by Ada Biafra. Can you hear me, please, Ada Biafra? You're welcome to the program. Good evening and go ahead, please. Your line is very bad. I don't know why it is that way. Try and change your position, please. I cannot hear what you are saying. Your line is very bad. Try and change your position or you cut the call. Cut the call and see if you can call back. I don't know what is wrong with this line. It's always very, very rough. Can you hear me, Ada Biafra? Of course, and I hope you should be able to do something about that line. You can spend time talking, but not always very clear. The people of Biafra must bring your mind down, review what is going on, and you will see the truth. Yes, I have you back. Go ahead.
Okay, hearing me clear
It's
now.
better now, very much better.
Yeah. What I want to tell them is, we saw this thing while it's coming. We saw all these things that we are not together. And Nigeria have a different tribe. And all those different tribes have their own unique things of doing things the way they like. Just like this Biafra we are talking about. All these ones who are telling that Biafra do this, they have their own unique things, how they do their things. How are we going to manage all these things? It's not even the question we are asking ourselves. How? Because one day during that 2013 2014, I was asking myself, how do we get all the Biafras, all that way we fought to defend ourselves in the hand of Nigeria in 1967 to 1970? I was like asking myself, they told me no problem, that the can is there, that everybody is working, that we are same men that will meet others, we are same men that will meet these ones, that everybody will unite together and we will talk together and everything will go on. I said, okay, if it's like that, I'm okay, I'm fine with it. Let it not be just that all this just heart of Igbo land, these five states, that is fighting for this Biafra. It will not be good. They said, no, he has sent delegates. He has sent delegates here and there, here and there. That is why his work is only to stay in radio and talk and talk. That's why he's not doing any other thing. That's why he's not doing any other job. And I said, okay, no wahala. Not knowing that this idiot didn't do any work. And he want to be paid for the work he did not do. And he want to be paid. He even scattered us more. He even scattered us more. He made us to be more divided than ever. But thank God for the BIAFRA Human Rights and Freedom Radio. Thank God for BIAFRA Nation Alliance. Thank God for all the others that gathered together and said, let's do reconciliation committee. And all those all of you that did that reconciliation committee. You may not know how the amount of job you just did. Is God that did that job. Just like that time that in the Bible, that when the children of Israel was going and they reached, God told them not to go inside that bush at the same time, because the wild animal would kill all of them. So they started doing it bit by bit. There is a time which is this man, or is it Caleb or who, was 18 years old. He told himself that God has given him strength to go and fight and get some part of the land for the children of Israel. And he did. He strengthened himself in the Lord, and God gave him strength more again at the age of 80. He said, I just told God that this is exactly what he did in Edobidi and Dr. Kado, because they are old, but he strengthened them. They will stay in the internet, stay without sleep, because at their age, what they need is to sleep, wake up, do some little job, and sleep again. That is what they're supposed to be doing. But they strengthen themselves in the Lord to do this work. Which God give them a blessing of them. Without them gathering and make this de facto customary government and told all the progressors to come together and unite, we would not have reached this level. See what all these people are doing now to whatever they call their kingdom, or the kingdom or whatever. They are just destroying themselves and saying that they are doing any other thing. Yes? Nigeria is not good. Nigeria did not consider any other person. If it's now that it's Fulani that is there, all of them are now Fulanis. God is faithful. He will strengthen us more so that we will continue doing all this work. Thank you, Doctor. Thank you for giving me this opportunity to contribute to your program.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. May God bless you.
Thank you, Ada Biafra. Of course, we are in this together according to Mazemefo. We continue to do the needful. We continue to appeal to the conscience of our people to understand that a lot is not right. Many things have gone bad, but then it's not too late. Our people must pay close attention to what we ought to do and what we are not supposed to do. And you see, things will begin to work out for our good. The spirit of loyalty and obedience will manifest. There will be no rebellious spirit. Nobody will think outside the box. But as far as there are hidden agenda, as far as there are people with interior motive, as far as the right dream, we have not dreamt the right dream, there will always be challenges. Understand, the door of Biafra Restoration Project has not been open or has not been this porous than as it is today. Without the effort of good few men, by now we will be overrun. Our doors are left wide open, very porous, and the enemies are doing what they're supposed to do. Sow more seed of discourse, cause more confusion, set everyone against themselves. And our actions that seems honorable, our actions, some of our actions that seems noble, it is setting a brother against brother. And you see, when you are making plan to undermine another, the same is making plan to improvise. Let us be guided. Let us be advised. Is Biafra will come to restore? Let us restore Biafra. If we have any other agenda, roll it out. We are waiting. There is no two ways. It is Biafra or Biafra. Like I said earlier, our lines are open and you are free to call in and make your contribution. I'll be back in a minute.
Reading from Biafran's Got Talents.
Africans will never be free until Biafra comes, Africans will never be free until Biafra comes, Africans will never be free until Biafra comes, Africans will never be free until Biafra comes,
Yes, of course, at this moment I am joined by our daddy in the Lord, Mazi Obidi Obienu. Can you hear me, sir?
Yes, I can, my brother, my Reverend Diaba ONYIBE. My brother. Thank you for, thank you for everything that you are doing. The key, you have been exemplifying one of the keys, especially coming here every day. It doesn't matter what happens, but God is witnessing your effort to come here to help in our people, to understand what is being said here. And I thank you for that doggedness. Thank you for everything that you are doing. And I want to appreciate the previous caller, I don't know why, or Ada Biafra, I believe. Looking forward for more participation. Also want to appreciate all Biafrans, every truthful Biafran, because as you have seen, a lot of people are running around saying Biafra, Biafra, Biafra. Some of them has also gone from Biafra to Igedumiguru to Idu now. Some of them have their last names changed to Idu. Confusion everywhere, mad people everywhere. Desecrating, insulting themselves, and throwing tantrums from one platform or the other. And when you're looking at the whole thing, my brother, is very discouraging. Very discouraging, because if that's just how Biafra is going to come, I don't know who is going to arrange for that. Unfortunately, this gang of criminals have dominated the social media, dominated everywhere. So many of them on social media, shouting, dancing in different forms, making an irrelevant, a serious nation like Biafra, with all that comes along with the issue of Biafra. These people are basically spitting on the graves of Biafrans and having fun doing it because they want views. They want views. They want to be popular. And none is saying the truth. And they are dragging the name of Biafra in the mud. But I tell you, my brother, this message will never stop. Because the reason we all came together is justified. Is because of the situation that we are in. That's why we all came together. And so nobody, no matter how long it takes, this message must bear fruit. There are a few things I want to say this evening. One is that's one guy you mentioned. I don't even want to mention his name. But when you said what he was thinking, that tells you exactly the type of animals and apes you have in that contraption called Nigeria. And I'm pretty sure that clown you call a wounded civilian or what, is not in the contraption. He's somewhere in Europe. Somewhere in Europe collecting Aduro, perhaps 200 euros or 250 every month. He does not care. He does not see how the society is run. But he's going to be the one that will come and challenge you for seeking for a better governance. I mean, when you look at this type of people, when you think about what kind of animals are these, then you can tell that we have a long way to go. And some of them will turn around and blame Christianity. Some of them will blame all kinds of religion. But we are not looking at our behaviors. Just people are asking for equity. Biafra is never synonymous with war. All we are asking for is a fair share. It's a fair share. It wouldn't be any agitation if Nigeria has lived up to what it should be. It shouldn't be. Okay? It shouldn't be anybody talking about freedom. If things are going normally, people are allowed to exercise themselves the best way they can. People are allowed to freely do businesses. People are allowed, if you are looking for any business, you go and get a permit or license from the government, and then you'll be allowed to do what you want to do. So that clown, you call himself a big Facebooker or whatever. He called himself someone. He thinks that he has something upstairs, but nothing short of an ape You see his thinking? The last time I checked, wherever he come from, is still under subjugation. Still under subjugation. I think I was talking to somebody the other time. I believe it was Ijele, and I was trying to tell him that there's no way we can excuse the police behavior in that contraption. And Ijele was telling me that that what we are experiencing in the southeast is way better than what they are experiencing in the Midwest, or rather the Edo. But this is a clown that is antagonizing people's request for freedom. But I'll leave it like that. One thing that I have been keeping my eyes on since morning is to see if there is Hope Uzodinma. Has he named the people that are causing mayhem in Imo State? Because I think he promised to do that is it on the 3rd? Now they postponed it till today. So I'm not sure if you have any information with that.
No,
maybe
they have started calling him now. They settle him like in Nandekano. So we now adjourn it again. When Nandekano want to rag them, he will start saying, start attacking them. So maybe they are begging Hope now. So he may choose to temper justice with mercy.
Isn't that ridiculous that a governor said he have names of people? First of all, is he supposed to be calling names, or if he notices that people are committing crime, is he not supposed to?
Sometimes he may need to consult the gods for approval.
That is the society we are in. And when people say they don't want to be a part of this process, then we are looking for war. It's really sad. I've been searching everywhere to see if I can hear names. I guess the movie made with Okoraje's son-in-law didn't work out well. Oh my God! These people are object of caricature.
Because has not spoken. It's just like Nandekano said, Eluha said, when Eluha has not said. He saw the outcome. So Obus of them is waiting for confirmation.
Okay. Apparently, order from above has not come. Okay, because they act on orders from above. So shameful. These people are disgraced, and anyone that is defending that contraption, anyone that is saying anything about that contraption in the way of promoting it or supporting it, I don't know what to make of them. This is a real tragedy to humanity. Okay, then the other one was the Miss Briggs that you played her voice. I saw it briefly in the middle of the night, and I listened briefly, and I saw the faces I saw in that gathering. The faces I saw in that gathering, I said, there we go again, according to Obasanjo. Yeah, because regardless of how you view it, my brother, I have completely different perspective. Ms. Briggs has been very outspoken in issues like this, but I have not seen any action to meet with what she always said, because this is not the first time she's saying things like this. Apparently, limitation, because she's not part of the You know, she's not going to be able to do anything. She just, as usual, crying out her mind and saying what she want to say. So I'm not going to criticize her, but it's just that the funny part of it is I saw Nayukwe doing Clark there. I saw Fanny Kaya there. And guess what, my brother? When I watched that thing and I went to sleep again, I was struggling in the sleep to convince the Niger Delta people not to listen to this. Can you believe that? Because it's always this type of speech and clapping. The job people had come out the other day to say that they are not going to be a part of Nigerian arrangement if nothing is done to correcting what we now witnessing in that contraption. Because everybody knows that they're just claiming to be Nigeria for nothing. And I'm yet to be corrected. Anybody from the southeast, the middle belt, the south that can honestly in their hearts claim to be a Nigerian, other than these few gang of crooks that they always float whenever they sense a kind of a movement. And I can tell you, it's nothing else they did, but rather to come and give their usual fake reassurance, or rather to let people know that they are here there. You know, as you hear her speaking, you would think that nothing can be done. If you look at some of those Almajiris there, they'll be laughing at her. They'll be laughing at her, regardless of what she's saying, and the ones that are clapping. Because these people have a mindset of what they will do. My brother, how can you justify that? Let me use that name for now. Niger Delta is the place where most of the government resources are coming from. And people does not have drinking water. People's land has been polluted for years. We were there when Osibanjo went down there, went to Ogoni, went to everything, and promised to clean up and also give them jobs. That was almost, is it 8 years ago or 9 years ago? And nothing happened today. Today, what they are doing is setting everywhere ablaze in a river state. Setting everywhere ablaze. And then somebody is going to be saying that I'm a Nigerian, I am born a Nigerian, and this is the Nigeria I want to be. How come? Sometimes when people say things like this, it begin to question where they're coming from. The same thing, Nayuku Edwin Clark, the same thing he said the other day, that he's not going to be a second-hand or second-class citizen in his own land. What is the action to match with all these dramatic speeches? What is the action? Is it just paying you off for few millions of naira for security, whatever, to protect their pipes? Does that stop like that? Does it end just like that? How come? How come? People are lying to themselves. Okay, even as we are talking right now, we know that these people, I don't know the 27 states she says they're lazy governors, but we do know that in Nigeria, 12 states has gone. There are different states in Nigeria, Sharia government, and they're still imposing themselves on the lives of our people. You know? Well, I give her kudos for at least saying it. She's a woman. She cried out like a woman because a mother that sees something that is wrong. But how will what she said come to a plan of action so that if this is not done right, because I don't know why it's taking forever to get things done right. People have been calling for the Constitution to be taken down because it doesn't work. It favors people. The reason why there's problem in everything there is because of the type of Constitution we have. As a matter of fact, again, 12 states already out of Nigeria. So the remaining 24 is just by the way. And they're coming there, imposing themselves. When you listen to the names of people who are occupying main positions in Nigerian government, people who are occupying main positions, even in that River State, the oil industries and everything, they're all Adamus. Then you begin to ask, why? And most of these people are not Nigerians. I hope we know that. You begin to wonder, is this the type of Nigeria you want to be? And this is something in your land. They go and take their gold in Zamfara, it becomes theirs. But we are not allowed to take the oil in our own land. Not just, let's say, for instance, the federal government is taking it. What happens to the roads in that area? Why can't they have good roads, clean up environment, steady light supply and everything? What are we saying? Okay, so I honestly believe that this is another distraction. Perhaps they have been seeing what the Ninas are talking about and trying to get all the ethnic minorities to rise up and take their governance, take their destination into their hands. Maybe that's why they gathered to give false hope, to make speeches, nothing else. Other than that, what we be keeping? How many years have we had about coming together and discussing how we're going to forge ahead? And it never happens. Adamu say no. Aboki say no. They are not discussing anything. You must be aware, or you guys, if you want war, we'll fight you. That's all we get. So, like I said, completely different perspective I have on that speech. As good as it sounds, I'm not a fan until we begin to see action. Okay? And this is not just limited to the people in the South. I keep wondering, where are the Igbo elite, the intellectuals, the timbers and calibers? I'm yet to see what they are forging towards, if they truly say they want Nigeria to be one, if they want to be part of Nigeria. I'm yet to understand what are they doing to make sure that Nigeria is one based on equity and justice. Not just running mouth and saying Nigeria is one and you go hand in cap in hand begging money from Abuja. Once they give you a few dollars here and there, you turn around and you start speaking from different sides of your mouth. So that's what I stand for. That's my question, and this is my position. So that's the way I look at it, my brother. I am asking, as we continue to forge ahead, we are asking our people to rise up. Biafra de facto government is in place. We are asking for volunteers all over the world. Make yourself available. Also Biafrans, are you just what is this called? Bat. You are not anything. You are not flying at high. You are not flying low. I don't know the reason. This is like a joke. Even when you see that things are not going right. So we are asking you to make yourself available. Make contacts. We will tell you, of course, we have launched a governance code the other day. You can see what it takes to be part of it. Come and make yourself available so we can stop this evil in our land. We are not talking war, but rather we are asking for equity and justice. That's all. Where we can thrive at our own space and do things we want to do without people running over us. And with that, I also, like I used to mention, please, people, I always encourage us to support what the Ninas are doing. Ninas is doing a great job, and it requires everybody to be a part of that process. My Reverend, I want to thank you so very much. And before I go, I must tell Biafrans that even as you come, you must come with truthfulness. You must come with humility. That's the only way we can get out of this mess. Thank you very much, my Reverend. May God bless you. All hail Biafra, and God bless the people of Biafra and all of us of freedom.
There was, sir. Thank you so very much for joining me this evening. And of course, we'll continue to do the needful. Tomorrow is another day. We'll continue from where we stop. But let the people of Biafra pay close attention to what is going on. A lot of platforms, a lot of issues, matters of utmost importance has been compromised. And of course, if we have a long debate to try to narrate our positions and the instrument of deception that is at work among us already, some of you will weep. But where do we start from? Where do we start from? That having been said, Biafrans across the world, I encourage you, look for our administrator anywhere around the world and identify with a family so that you can have your say in our say. This is a transparent platform. This is a place where issues are reviewed. This could be the last hope for every threatened Biafran by Biafrans. Don't be left out. Stop running. Stop hiding. You must make a stand. We understand our position in the Nigerian state, and so it's not an issue to be questioned, or we don't have further need for verification, except there may be reason for review. All of you who called in and make your contribution, you're highly appreciated. At this moment, I will draw the curtain. I remain George ONYIBE. Good night and God bless you.
Biafra's Got Talent exclusive.
After this heavy rain, please let the sun rise.
Our lives are in danger, siblings and more that all day long we have been ruled by strangers. Sing give us Biafra. We are begging you, please. There's nothing we can do without you. It's only you that will save my life. Chico King and Biama, you are the one to give us Biafra. We pray.
Oh, God, save our lives. We are your children, save our lives. We are like sheep has gone astray. Restore our land and heal our hearts.
Save my life. Save my life. Save my life. Shukwaga.
Almighty Father. We are begging you, please.
Same thing, living here in the zoo. You up them and set us free. We are begging you.
See my papers, they are crying. You are begging, dying. Save our land, we beg you for love.
Tears in my eyes, every day I dey cry. Nothing else I'm asking for, Lord, give me the fire. We need a clearer picture, a better future, a better future, the Lord.
Freedom is what we want, nothing more, nothing less. We are tired of the zoo and your wickedness, yes. Save my life, Papa.
Shukwaga, give us Biafra.
We are begging you, please. We are begging you, please. When your kingdom shall come, we will know we are safe. When your kingdom shall come, we will know we are safe. Father, Lord, we lift up our hands to the air now. You walk, you can take all the glory and praise. Send your son to give the life. Send your innocence, keep me
Give us Biafra. Give us Biafra. We are begging you, please.
Alele bugum, iwe we bugum, obia bawagum, ndio chichi beli.
I know you can feel our anguish, but don't let us perish in the hands of our enemies.